Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler Murphy. I am an FAU business major here at FAU. I'm currently a junior finishing up. I have about one more semester left of school. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a baseball pitcher here at FAU, so you guys need to get out to the games and come enjoy a show. I'm here to talk about the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation and what they do for the fashion show events to raise money for these kids that struggle with cancer and how that impacts the day-to-day life of kids around the world. I was actually a participant in two of the fashion shows, which is something that has been a big part of my life and hopefully the kids that I impacted along the way. So that's what I'll be presenting today. Just to give you guys a little background run on what the NPCF is and what they do and the history on that. They were founded in 1991. They later renamed themselves the National Cancer Foundation to reflect the national impact they had on kids worldwide. Their mission statement is dedicated to funding research to develop less toxic and more effective treatments for kids, as affordability is something that is really hard for parents on kids, especially kids that are new in a family, and having that income just is really a struggle found nationwide. The collaborative research approach, which was established with the Sunshine Project, a unique partnership among top pediatric hospitals to accelerate drug development and help get these research ideas and treatments out as fast as possible for these kids. Along with that, they have impacted millions in funding and contributed to clinical trials and treatments nationwide for kids battling cancer, especially people that I have personally know of. One of my cousins struggled with cancer at a young age, and just people that I've been around and know that I have family ties with have been impacted by this foundation hugely. Going on to the next thing, I want to let you guys know why they do it and kind of the mission statement and what they do and why they do what they do. First of all, to improve survival rates. Childhood cancer remains the leading cause of death in children today by disease, and better treatments are needed because most of the funding in cancer is going to the adults and the middle-aged and the older people that are getting all the attention and research for clinical trials. Along with that, to develop less toxic treatments, as these treatments that they're pursuing are treatments that are for 20 and 40 and 60-year-old people, and giving these amount of toxins and just absolutely horrible treatments to kids, the effects are brutal, and they live with the effects from the toxins and stuff later on into their 20s and so on and so forth, from what I've seen in kids that I know, and it's just awful. Along with that, only 4% of federal cancer funding goes into the pediatric side, and I actually met with the CEO of the company attending one of these fashion shows, and he says that's one of the biggest problems that they undergo is through all these clinical trials is the funding, because not a lot of the funding for these kids is actually going towards them. It's going towards the older, and that's just something that I think needs to be changed. Moving on, we'll go to the fashion show, which is something that I have personally partook in, and this is kind of a way for them to get the funding for these kids, which involves basically just getting an event full of people that have money and undergoing with a fashion show where these kids that battle cancer will walk out with runway models showing brands of clothing and along with stuff like that. And then it'll lead into more of a fashion show with the kids' role models, which is something that I did, where the kids will pick a role model, whether that's a firefighter, a space pilot, an mechanical engineer, or like me, a baseball player. And these kids will invite us, and we'll be able to go and walk the stage with them and be a role model for them, and something that they've always wanted to do, which is a huge impact on me and hopefully the kid, and something that I'll remember for a very, very, very long time. And all of these proceeds from the donations and the events will go straight back into helping find less toxic treatments for these kids later on in the future. My experience is something that personally I feel like helped me be a part of something bigger and hopefully put forth something positive in another person's life, and I'm just very grateful to have done that. Thank you all for listening, and I'm very glad that I got to share my opportunity and kind of what this foundation does, and hopefully be able to give you guys insight and make a change in your life and somebody else's. Have a good day, everyone.